Hello and welcome to your latest Maths Wizard video. Today we're going to be focusing on rounding and estimation. So the main skills we're going to be looking at is you'll be able to master by the end of this video is being able to round to a given number of significant figures, and then you'll be able to then go on to use that skill to estimate the value of a sum. So we'll look at a few rounding examples first before we go on to the estimation. Okay, so first question. I want to round 1745 to one significant figure. So if you want to have a go first, you can perhaps pause it and I'll go through then how to do it. Okay, so now it's important you understand what it means by a significant figure. So if we take this number 1745, so 1745, the first figure that's considered significant is this one here. So the first digit that's classed as a significant figure is the first digit that is not 0. So that's that number 1 here. We've then got our second significant figure here. We've got our third one here, and then our fourth one here. As soon as you get to the first significant figure, everything else after that will be considered significant. Okay, so just as an example, if you've got 1045, that's your first significant figure. That one will still be significant even though it's a 0. So just bear that in mind as well. Now when you're rounding to one significant figure, your first significant figure here is a 1. So you've then got to move along to your second one. Now because your second significant figure in this example is 5 or greater, in this case being a 7, your first significant figure will increase by 1. So it will become a 2 instead. And then all of your remaining digits then become 0. So this number to one significant figure will be 2000. Okay, so whenever you go to one significant figure, your first digit will either stay the same or increase. It will stay the same if this digit is 4 or less. It will increase by 1 if this digit is 5 or more. Okay, everything else from that point onwards then becomes a 0. So look at this example. Now this is where people do get a bit mixed up on these. Now on this number here, this 0 is not the first significant figure. It's your 5 that is your first significant figure, and your 7 is your second significant figure. So when we round this one, 0.57, now because our second significant figure is a 7, this one will increase to 0.6. So it will become 0.6 to one significant figure. Okay, we'll have a look at a two significant figure one then. So this time our first significant figure is 1, our second significant figure is this 7, our third is this 4. So because this is a 4, this will stay as a 7, and then the remaining two digits become 0. So this number to two significant figures would be 1700. If we had a 5 here, let's say it was 1755, then the number would become 1800 to two significant figures. Okay, I'll just give you a bit of practice then. So here are 5 questions just to practice this skill. Okay, so if we go through these one, then this one-to-one significant figure would be 900. So because your second significant figure is a 9, this then rounds up. Your next one would be 2000. So this will become a 2. The other 3 digits will then become 0. Now this one here, we've got a 9 there for our second significant figure. So this will become 0.6. And this one here, the two significant figures, that's going to be an 8. That's a 2 currently, our second significant figure. Our third significant figure is a 9. So this then becomes 83. So you can write it as 83.00 if you want to, but it's really just 83. Now be really careful here with decimal numbers. Make sure you are rounding two significant figures, not two decimal places. That's where sometimes people get a bit confused. And this one finally down here will be 0.57 for that one just there. Okay, so if we look at this next example here then, so we're going to look at estimation now. So when you are estimating, people often try and just work out the actual answer, but that's not what they're expecting you to do. What they would like you to do is round your numbers to one significant figure. Now, it's always going to be one significant figure unless they tell you otherwise. Sometimes on exam questions I've seen it before where they say round your numbers to the nearest 10 and estimate the value of. Okay, but if it doesn't give you anything specific like that, make sure you always round to one significant figure. So if we look at this number here, second significant figure is a 3, so this will stay as a 4. The rest of the numbers become 0. Second significant figure here is a 4, so that will stay as a 3. The other two digits will become 0. When you add them together, you will then get 4,300 for this first example. Okay, next example then. So always show all of your rounding as well, because that can sometimes get you marks. We've got 900 here. Now here we're going to have 1,000. And we're going to dividing that by 50. So we've here got 1,900. Yeah, so 1,900. Yes. Divided by 50. So we'll take those zeros off there now, and then we're just going to do 190 divided by 5 instead. So without a calculator, this is how this will look. 5 into 19 goes 3 times. Got a remainder of 4 because 5 3s are 15. 5 into 40 goes 8 times. So your final answer will be 38 for that one. Okay, now we've got a bit of square in here. Now this number is already to one significant figure, so we leave that as it is, but it's this one at the bottom we need to round. So that will be 100 when you square 10, and this will be 0.5. Now, one little tip for you: when you're dividing by a half, that is essentially the same as multiplying by 2, because if you think in every whole one, you've got two 0.5s, haven't you? Yeah. So if you had 2, you would have 4 lots of 0.5. Yeah. So here, when you divide by 0.5, you will actually get 200. Okay. Another way of looking at this, if you want to make that 5 and make that 1,000, and do 1,000 divided by 5, you'll also get 200 there for that particular example. Okay, so have a little bit of a practice at these then. So we've got 5 there for you to practice with. So pause your video, take your time and have a go. Make sure you round all of your numbers first, because remember, you will sometimes get marks for rounding correctly in the exam. Okay, so here are your answers to these questions. So we've got 5 times 800 there, which will give you 4,000. 400 minus 90, which will give you 310 there. 3,000, add 5,000, which will give you 8,000 here. Then we've got 6 divided by 2 for here, which is 3, times 500, which will give you that 1,500. Now here, 6 squared is 36. Divide that by 0.5, and you will get 72 for that one. Okay, well, thank you very much for listening once again. Remember to hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, and keep checking back onto my YouTube channel, because I'll be uploading lots more content that will help you with the GCSE Maths Foundation syllabus. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Bye bye.